Hello my friends, we have some positive news coming from the front lines of the Sumy region. There, Alexivka village turned to the gray area because of Ukrainian counterattack from 3 of the directions. Russians were forced mainly to retreat to Vladimirivka village, now it's their main forepost, from which they still supply their forces close to Alexivka and Novomykolaiivka, but after all Ukraine will get those villages fully under control, liberating what was remained of it, just ruins as we know, so it's more like tactical thing for Ukraine to liberate all of those villages to push Russians back to Russia, and this is the Ukrainian-Russian border here. Also the fight is ongoing for Yablonivka and for Yunakivka. The situation for Yunakivka is very hard for Russians, as I told you in my recent videos. About Konstantinovka, well, very soon Russians will have to leave that village as well, because there are no supply lines for them. Before Ukraine cut this road from Yelizavetovka, and Russians cannot send more goods to Konstantinovka because of the very difficult terrain in this area and also Ukrainian drone strikes. Honestly guys, I was worrying about Yunakivka village because it was on the way to Sumy, so it's on the same road. It would open the way for Russian forces, but now Ukraine understands that this village is very crucial, so the fight is ongoing there, and I believe that Ukraine will liberate it as well. Alright, what's about the Pokrovsk direction? There Ukraine gained some more territories over here, but Russia uses some of the aviation bombs to stop Ukrainian advancement. We are speaking about Novomykolaiivka village. This village is not that far away from Muravka, where Russians already planted their flag. But it was just a small sabotage group, so no significant forces Russia used for this one. What's about the deep state military map source? They say that Russians advance every day in this crossroad of Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk and Zaporizhia Oblast, and just recently Russians covered all of those fields from Novoivanivka to Novogrigorivka, so it was yesterday, it is today. That's the firm advancement, and also in Novomykolaiivka, the same village again and again. Yeah, Ukrainian villages may have the similar names or same names. It was yesterday, today. As I told you before, the idea for Russia is to go to this road, to go to Zaporizhia later on, and also advance from the south. Well, at least that's the plan, and let's check out the Russian army advancement for at least since the 1st of July, let's say. Yeah, the 1st of July and today. Yeah, the advancement here is substantial, and many of the defense lines of the Ukrainian army were left behind. Unfortunately guys, so it could be actually one of the biggest threats for Ukraine. Luckily there are some of the natural obstacles like rivers and hills, so it's not easy for Russia to move over here. And from what I see, for the last 2 days Russians after all moved in Pokrovsk direction, so it was a couple of days ago and it is today. Deep State says that it's the clarification of the front lines. It means that Russians continue to press Mirnograd and Pokrovsk, but at the same time they're kind of struggling in Dobropilya direction. This attack for them failed. For now. Alright, this logistics hub for the Russian army was hit in the Kursk region. You might see some of the Russian pickup trucks and many more. And Ukraine used, I guess, aviation to hit everything of that. You might see even some of the army trucks, Russian soldiers and so on. And Ukraine hit this facility really hard, maybe even using artillery. Maybe those are not the aviation bombs, they are a little smaller from what I see. Yes, could be even HIMARS. This strike is still okay. This is Bukhanka, but the rest of the buildings, they are just kaputted. And here we have some of the images from the place before and after. Speaking about the vehicle losses for both of the sides, you may see that Russia lost 28 of the vehicles, Ukraine 20. This is for the last week alone. Russia lost just huge amount of the battle tanks, 10 of them, 9 destroyed completely and 1 damaged. Ukraine 3 of the tanks, and unfortunately Russians even captured 1 of those 3. I saw some of the images, definitely they did it. You see that Ukraine is losing many more infantry mobile vehicles because simply Ukraine has those more compared to Russians, and logically loses those more on the front lines, but the Western-made vehicles are just fantastic, and they're built to save the lives of the soldiers, so in most of the cases, crew is okay. Crew evacuated, crew left the vehicle. The Western vehicles are just the second level, uncomparable to Russians. As for the losses, I have the information from this Telegram channel. It's called Vina v Ukraini Vtrata Techniki, so it's a Ukrainian channel, but they are unbiased. They publish all of the videos of Ukrainian vehicles, of Russian vehicles, absolutely everything. Sometimes they have information even coming from the winter time, and later on they correct their statistics. So I trust that statistics, and by the way, just right now we have the breaking news coming about some sort of the drones flying over the NATO countries. Let's go and review. this information. This is the Copenhagen airport in Denmark that ceased the operation because of the drone threat. Eyewitnesses report that they spotted 3 of the big drones, and still the airfield is closed by the time I'm filming this video. 2 to 3 drones were seen flying in the area around Copenhagen airport, according to authorities. No aircraft can take off and land at the airport. The same stuff happened in Gatwick, I guess a few years ago. The drone was spotted, or multiple of the drones. For a couple of days the airfield was completely closed. Well, was it a Russian drone provocation once again? Who knows, but we don't have the real evidence of the actual drone flying, just eyewitnesses report about it. Maybe airfield authorities also spotted them, but we don't have like the real evidence about what kind of the drones there were, because those could be just amateur drones or big birds. For now, no one knows. I'm saying about it because the last week there was the information about drones flying over Polish government building in one of the cities. So after the Russian drone provocation before, Polish side report about again Russian drone attack, but after all they found out that those were just random people flying their amateur drone over the central part of the city, the no-fly area, by the way. One Ukrainian guy and probably his girlfriend from Belarus. Probably his girlfriend. Polish side say that they'll deport them. Drone threat was also triggered today in Norway, the central part of Oslo, the capital of the country. Norwegian military spotted the drones flying over Akershus fortress, so this is the no-fly zone for this area as well, and police confirmed the incident and reported the detention of 2 Singaporean citizens. And now they're being investigated. Why do they show Shahed drone here? I'm out of clue. So I may say that the drone events this evening are just incomparable to the Russian threat. Then they launched many of the drones to the Polish territory. And probably they will try to escalate even more because we heard those signals from Putin himself. Today on his security meeting, Putin said that Russia is ready to respond to any possible threat with military force. Plus Russia will deploy, not may deploy, but will deploy medium and short-range missiles. This is the 4th step Putin mentioned. So medium, short range, it's not against the United States, yeah, it's against allies of the United States. If for Donald Trump those are allies after all. As a result of the West's destructive actions, the foundations of dialogue between nuclear armed states have been undermined. The system of agreements between the Russian Federation and the United States of America on missile, nuclear and strategic defensive arm control is almost completely dismantled. Russia is not interested in the arms race. That's what he said, plus Putin also has instructed to closely monitor the build-up of the United States missile defense components, including preparations for deploying the interception means in space. So are they still friends if Putin says like that really war rhetorics or threatens United States of America and Europe? Well, for him it will be friends forever, forever love, it's 100%. It doesn't matter what Putin could do or does. For Trump, Trump is always taco. Because even now United States of America is lifting the sanctions from Belavia, the key airline of Belarus, which could supply some of the spare parts to Russia. Yes, it's crazy, especially if you know the context that Russia is going to supply some of the Oreshnik, a middle-range ballistic missile, but still it will cover all of the Europe with its range. Not United States, but all of the Europe. Yeah, Copenhagen airport has just resumed the normal operation. By the time I'm recording the video, we have those kind of the updates. What was there? Who saw those drones? For now, it's unknown. Maybe someone definitely saw those. Okay, Ukraine launched the attack on Moscow and not only. Here we do not see the drone, but we can hear it. Oh, we see it actually. It's flying over there. Sorry about the watermarks. I took it from this channel. And the drone is flying, yeah? Disappeared. Camera guy says that it's already the 4th drone and he's filming it not far away from Moscow, in one of the satellite cities of Moscow. There were some of the kabooms reported, but mostly it is coming from the Russian air defense operation. All of the Moscow airfields were closed, many of the airplanes diverted to their alternates. The Russian logistics again was significantly disturbed. And this image was also shared from Moscow. This is Antonov 124 Ruslan. It was flying really low. Well, I guess they decided not to go to alternate and follow their destination in Moscow after all. because not every airport might accommodate this huge airplane. And this is the Russian military, so they decided, okay, we're gonna go to our destination in any case. We'll just fly low over those buildings, just not to be shot down by the own air defense. Yeah, it was definitely the reason for it to fly that low. In the social media, I already saw the comments saying that if it is Antonov, it is a Ukrainian airplane, so Ukrainians flown to Moscow. Probably this aircraft is full loaded with TNT or something like that. No, it's the Russian army transport airplane. But you know, the idea is kind of interesting because Ukraine already has the experience converting normal airplanes into the drones. For example, Aeroprac 22 Foxbat. Yeah, it's smaller, yeah, way smaller than Ruslan, but who knows, Ukraine might do even the trick with Ruslan someday. And just imagine how many tons of TNT you can load there. Crazy. Would it be enough for the Putin's bunker? I don't know. Oh, the Russian propaganda again says that Ukraine drone strikes village school in Crimea. Oh my god. And let's bust this bullshit. Actually, it was already busted by Osin Analytics. Oh my god, they have even here the Z symbol on the fire truck. This is crazy. And you know, definitely it's the starting facility. You can see some of the windows are off. But you know, there was no direct hit on this facility. It was the shock wave. So here we have the school without the windows, and this hotel was used by the Russian army. So this is the place where Ukraine hit the building, and since this building is not that far away, the shock wave hit all of the windows and partially damaged the construction. The strike was conducted during the night time, so there were no any kids inside by the time of the strike, because who goes to school during the night time, huh? But the Russian military slept quite well in their hotel until, yeah, you may continue. But somehow Russian journalists are quite lazy to go through a couple of the streets and visit this building because it is ruined. Show us what is there, instead of showing the school few hundred meters away. Thanks for the information for Infactum channel, awesome channel. I subscribe for it and I follow on Telegram. An interesting video, but was filmed on the standard lens of the phone. So here is Ukrainian F-16, probably you may see this black dot, and here is the Shahid drone, which Russia sent to Ukraine. The name here tells that F-16 hit the drone with the help of the Vulcan cannon. Yeah, definitely, you heard that. It's not machine gun, it's the cannon after all. So at first the drone was shot down, then fighter jet deviated a little, and there's the sound. Yeah. Really nice. Interesting, Ukrainian Air Force is using different techniques, even cannons, to shut down Shahids. Awesome. This is the interesting video filmed from Pokrovsk direction, not far away from Mirnograd. You may see lots of the fiber optic cables shining in the sun. Oh my god, just imagine the intensity. And so many fiber optic cables are, the intensity of the drone usage is beyond imagination. And those are just the cable drones, which are not that much compared to the standard drones. Oh my god. So for sure NATO should reform its army as fast as possible. My friends, please check out my channel where I filmed one more video a few hours ago. It's about the strikes on Crimea, where Ukraine hit the Russian base with some of the aircraft. Once again, we have the good news from Crimea almost each day. And guys, if you want to support my channel, you're very welcome to the membership of this channel and also to Patreon. The link for my Patreon page is available in the video description just below. Thank you so much for supporting my motivation. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.